Oh, the Dagannoth Kings, bosses that surely don't need any introduction for majority of the players out there. Brought into the game way back in 2005, these legendary sea monsters have a soft spot in most RuneScape adventurers' hearts as they drop the highly desirable ring collection of the Berserker Ring, the Archer's Ring, the Seer's Ring, and the Warrior's Ring. With the Desert Treasure 2 update making these rings even more powerful thanks to the Visages drops, I think it's time for this adventure to finally learn how to take these bad boys on solo. That's right, the player with the T-bow and a max make set has never really done solo DKs, and I really want to change that. Hello everyone, my name is Nick, and I'm on an adventure to improve my skills at RuneScape while hunting down these 4 items. Following one of the simplest rule sets imaginable, I hope to grind my way into greatness. This is Getting Good at RuneScape. So the current goal of my account is to grind up some cash and to get a better range setup, with the focus of getting some more combat achievements done as well. So today, that's kind of day 1, and I decided to take on DKs as a fun adventure. The DKs have a very interesting list of achievements to get done. They start in the medium tier, each one requiring 10 kills to complete, and Rex has an additional medium tier achievement to kill him while he's immobilized, so a quick Ice Barrage is going to get that task done real quick. Next they go into a hard tier requiring 25 KC to get that achievement done, and then things get a little weird. The next achievement moves into the elite tier, which requires you to kill each king while being attacked by the other 2. So I need to kill Rex while Prime and Supreme are attacking me, for example, which should be a lot of fun. There are a few tasks outside of what I've mentioned that is specific to each boss, and I'll talk about those a little later in the video when it's time to actually tackle that challenge. Today I want to get all the combat achievements done here, while hopefully getting some good money and finally learn how to do this boss. I've spent way too many Slayer tasks at the Lighthouse and I'm just tired of it. So for my background and experience here, I used to take my Ivan staff and just camp Rex for a ring drop that I never got. And outside of doing the Fremi Elites, that's pretty much all that I know about the bosses. So my logs here are completely blank outside of just a random few KC of each one of them. For gear, this is what I'm going to be rocking for majority of the video. For the beginning clips, I play around with the inventory just a little bit, but this is probably what I'm going to be taking from here on out every time I get a Slayer task, plus a Sarah Godsword if I ever buy one. The T-bow and the Shadow are the definitions of overkill here, and I completely understand that. The wiki is your best friend for deciding what you need to bring, and I'll throw that up on the screen right now. The important parts that I see worth mentioning is like the Serp Helm, which is incredibly nice if you're off task, so you don't have to worry about the poison anymore. The chest and the bombs get a little tricky depending on what you bring, so if you bring like a crystal bow for example, things get a little weird. But for everyone else, I really do think that the Blessed D-Hide and some tank leg suggestion work completely fine. A good range set and good tank legs are going to be more than enough to get you through everything. The hardest part about these bosses is just the entrance and getting everything set up. So if you're a little bit better at prey flicking than me, and you can control the monsters a little bit better, you can rock some real budget gear. The rest of the trip outside of the entrance is just a one-on-one fight where the prayers are going to protect you from all the damage that the bosses can do, so it's really all about that introduction part and making sure you can kill the bosses in time to keep the rotation going. The last suggestion or point that I kind of have is your spec weapon. Ideally the Sarah Godsword should be used as it massively helps with trip times, but I don't even own one right now and you can just kind of do whatever you need to. Honestly, I sent most of my specs with the Fang just to make sure Supreme died before Rex popped up again, so honestly it's not that big of a deal. Now let's get into things. The first thing that I noticed here was I'm gonna die a lot during this. The timing of the prayer flicks just did not make sense to me at the beginning, and I learned really quickly that this run is just awful. I'm so dumb, I forgot everything I need. After a few deaths, I remembered that I had bandos on and I can just start tanking Supreme to get the rotation started, so that's kind of what I do majority of the time. So after killing Supreme, I keep Protect from Mage on for Prime, and then start attacking Rex. I tend to use this corner trap on the north side of the room just to keep things simple and so I can see all the bosses as they spawn, and I use this time to heal up using Blood Barrage. After that, I move on to Prime, sending range attacks until he's down. After that, the rotation starts over again. The boss timer plugin makes it really easy to see when the next Rex is going to appear again, which is just really nice to know. There are a couple times during my longer trips that I wouldn't completely kill a boss before the next one pops up again, so having a warning is really nice. Other than that, it's just Melee Supreme, Mage Rex, and Range Prime. Honestly, the hardest part is that entrance, as after you get that down, it's really simple from there. Now I think it's a great time to talk about the expected money per hour. The wiki shows that the solo tribrid expected money per hour is right around the 2 mil mark, which honestly is still really surprising to me considering how old these bosses are and how long they've been camped for so many years by so many players. But there's a catch to hit that 2 mil an hour, and that's going to be the Fremi Elite Diary. I'll let you do the wiki search to see if your account can handle these requirements, but I cannot recommend getting this diary done enough, especially if you want to camp these bosses long term. The main reward that you're going to care about in this context is going to be the noted Dagannoth bones. Most bosses, the bones are never really mentioned and honestly are rarely ever picked up outside of some really niche situations, but for these bosses, the bones are going to be worth 9,000 coins a pop, and if you're able to note them, that's going to be a healthy majority of your profit. The rings of course are worth some money, each one being a 1 in 128 drop rate, ranging from 35k for the Warrior's Ring up to 3.6 mil for the Archer's Ring. The other notable profitable item here I would say is the Dragon Axe, which also has a 1 in 28 drop rate and is going for right around 100k. So in simple terms, the run here sucks, the entrance is the hardest part, Fremi Elites is required to see almost all the profit outside of the rings, and pray for a ring drop that isn't the Warrior Ring. Simple enough. Alright, so the background stuff is done, let's see how I did. The first trip went as you expect. I got 10kc at Rex, followed up by a Frozen King achievement, which is just to kill Rex while he's immobilized. Then I got 10kc at Supreme and 10kc at Prime. Before hitting the 25kc achievements, I got a Sneaky Warrior Ring at KC number 20 at Rex, which marks the first ring I've ever received at DKs. I don't feel like last time I was taking this much damage. Oh, Warrior Ring! The first Mud Battle Staff came from Prime at KC number 24 as well. Ooh, a Mud Battle Staff. I forgot this was an item. On the second trip, I accidentally got the Death to the Archer King done upon entry due to me just walking way too far into the room and aggroing all 3 bosses. So at least one of those are out of the way. I took a small break from grinding the achievements just to get more KC at each boss, getting a Seer's Call on Supreme KC number 32, a Seer's Ring on Prime KC 29, and an Archer's Ring on Supreme KC 35. Yes, there's an Archer's Ring. Dude, I'm getting so lucky here too. This is insane. Now it's time for me to get back into the harder achievements, starting out with the tank tests. The first one I went for was Death to the Warrior achievement. After getting Rex low enough, I waited for the other 2 bosses to spawn in, threw in Protect from Mage, and just ran at them. After seeing both of them attack me, oh, no way. There's no way I just got a Berserker Ring while doing that combat test. That's amazing. So yeah, I got a B ring at KC number 51 at Rex while completing this achievement. I sent a few more rotations just to get everything back on track, and then decided to take on Death to the Seer's King, which is to kill Prime while the other 2 bosses are attacking you. I did the same setup here, I just got Prime low enough before just running right into the middle of the room for the other 2 bosses to attack me. Next we move on to the last 3 achievements. For Prime, it's called From One King to Another. The goal here is to kill Prime using a Rune Throwing Axe special that bounces off a Rex. This one is probably the easiest of the last 3 achievements to get, and it didn't take that long to get done. The second challenge is called Toppling the Diarchy, which is a pain to say the least. This challenge comes from Rex, and the goal is to kill Rex at the same time as another boss. I used Prime and Rex for this one, and I set them up as you would expect, getting them low enough and then stacking them together. Thanks to some black chins, this one didn't take too long to get done either. Yes, I did it. Oh my god, I did it. Oh, that was way too close. Finally, we move on to the Rapid Succession achievement, and this one gave me the most amount of problems. This one comes from Supreme, and the goal is to kill all 3 bosses within 9 seconds of each other. As luck has it, I got rather used to just tanking all 3 bosses while attempting these achievements, and this one's going to be no different. I also noticed that Supreme got poisoned rather easily thanks to the Serp Helm, and I used that to my advantage. After getting Rex and Prime low enough, I waited for Supreme to spawn in, and after getting him extremely low, I stacked the other 2 together and just started sending chins their way. I knew with the range bonus and the gear that I was wearing, this is going to take quite a few chins to kill both of the bosses at the same time. While I was doing that, I noticed a poison tick hit Supreme down to 1 HP, as I got the kill on the other 2. With a quick smack from the Fang, this task was done. I think I just did it. I did it. I did it. Oh my lord, that was awful, dude. This one took 7 attempts and 3 deaths. But with this finally out of the way, I can say that all the DKs are completed. As a celebration, I decided to take my butt back to DKs one more time off task and send a full trip. Yeah, that's something I actually haven't done this entire time, so for once more, here's my gear, here's my inventory, and here's the trip. Just kidding, it was extremely boring. I did snag 2 dragon axes and a mud battle staff though, so I mean, little profits, yay! With my gear and my luck, I was able to get 111 kills, so 37 on each boss. This took roughly an hour and a half worth of time to get done. In all honesty, I probably could have gone a lot longer if I managed my prayer better, like not camping Rigor and Piety the entire time I was killing the boss, but we live and we learn. For the final collection log and loot, I was able to kill Rex 128 times, Prime 119 times, and Supreme 132 times. For uniques, I saw 2 B rings, 1 Archer's ring, 2 Seer's ring, 2 Warrior's rings, 4 axes, 1 Seer's call, and 4 mud battle staffs. In total, from the uniques and the bones, I was able to get a total of 14.5 mil. In all honesty, it was probably closer to 15.2 if we count all the random drops that I ended up high alking along the way. That's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like, and let me know what you think of the DKs in the comments below. As a noob turned somewhat pro here, I would have to say I really enjoy these bosses. It was a fun challenge setting them up, and it was a great deal of fun to keep the rotations going and finally be able to do the bosses that my friends have been grinding for years at this point. With all that said, I hope everyone's having a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Stay inspired.